All right, the betrayal of John McCain and why Trump should be mad at him. Look, the title of this video, the betrayal of John McCain, is not that someone betrayed John McCain. It's that John McCain betrayed somebody. You know, when you talk to Trump supporters, and including me in the past, this just changed, but including me in the past, the one thing you could sort of make us a little embarrassed of was Trump's treatment of John McCain, because, you know, if you know anything about John McCain, he served in Vietnam. He was a pilot. He got shot down. And he was kept in, I believe Hilton, but he was held as a POW for 5 years by North Vietnam. And, you know, they'll hear different stories about what happened during his captivity, but I don't care. He was a POW. Whatever happened while he was a POW, he survived and he made it through. And it's a great American story. Supposedly he gave up a chance to come home early, too, at one point. I don't know, it doesn't matter. He served his country honorably. He was a pilot, flew combat missions, was a POW. So you have a lot of respect for that. And when you think of how Donald Trump has treated John McCain some recently, you get really a little uneasy. I used to get uneasy. I'm not anymore. Some of the things he tweeted mean things about him, although not mean enough in my opinion now. He only wanted to put the flags at half-staff when John McCain died for a day instead of a week. And you know, so people want to make us feel bad about Trump. They point to John McCain, and in the past that's worked. Well, I just read something today, and it was on Breitbart, and I don't read Breitbart a lot, but I've been starting to read them a little bit more, and I have linked the article at our Facebook page. So if you look at the Revolting Man Facebook page, this article will be there. Now, I did some more research past that article, and I won't get to talk about a lot about that today because I got to solidify some of it, but we'll touch on it a little bit. So, John McCain's betrayal. Who did John McCain betray? Well, he betrayed his president, he betrayed his party, he betrayed America, in my opinion. He definitely betrayed you and me. I'm going to try to do this quick. If you paid any attention, you know President Trump's been impeached, and one of the big things that got everyone all up in arms and thought maybe he should be impeached was this thing called the Steele Dossier. Michael Steele was a former British spy who was in charge of the Russia desk for the MI6, the Russia's CIA version of the CIA, and so Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and I'm just going to run over this real quick because you should know, but if you don't, hired this company called Fusion GPS, which does this kind of work a lot, who then hired Michael Steele to turn up dirt on President Trump. And they had 17 reports. Now, there's a lot more than, there's a whole bunch of stuff, smoke and mirrors and cloak and dagger stuff going on here, and I can't get into all of it right now. But the Steele Dossier makes all kinds of crazy claims. One of them, I'm sure you may have heard about, the prostitutes peeing on Obama's bed. A bunch of stuff about collusion and Paul Manafort and Andy Cohen and all this stuff. So all the Mueller investigation, the Peter Strzok, Lisa Page stuff, all this stuff is founded on the Steele Dossier. Okay? And basically all the drama we've been put through for the last 3 years, going on 4 years now, has been based off of this crazy report that Hillary Clinton what's the word I'm looking for? Commissioned, that Hillary Clinton commissioned as background research, you know, to find there's a word for it. I can't remember what it is now. But they were digging up dirt on Trump, and they came up with this crazy stuff. And most of it's really crazy. I mean, hookers peeing on the bed is the sort of the headline grabbing one, but all of it's really crazy and suspect. Well, anyway, we'll go into all that later. But so this stuff goes, Michael Steele and his Fusion GPS buddies, one of them's name is Glenn Simpson, they take this stuff to the FBI and they're pushing it on the FBI. Look what we found about Trump. Look what we found about Trump. And the FBI, here's what they claim now. They claim that because Steele talked about some of it to the media, they dropped him as an informant. But what happened is the FBI wasn't dealing with Steele anymore on his dossier. So here's where John McCain comes in, right? John McCain gets a hold of this Steele dossier, and he takes it to the FBI with new information they've never seen. There were 17 reports total. 17 reports isn't the right word even, but 17 episodes, I guess. John McCain took them 5. They didn't. They had 12. He took them 5 more. And told them to investigate it and put it back in front of the FBI. But worse than that, he's got this this aide, this guy who works for his foundation, the McCain Foundation, named David J. Kramer. We're going to do a whole video on David J. Kramer. But this guy has shades of Colonel Vindman all over him. We might do a video on both of them. So Kramer, who was in the 80s and 90s, he got a degree in Soviet studies. He's from Latvia. He still has close ties to Latvia. He's working in the State Department on Russia and all this stuff. So like this guy's a Colonel Vindman deep state guy with foreign national, with deep ties to the Russia area. If you don't believe in conspiracy theories, I mean, they're not even conspiracy theories anymore. I mean, it's just getting crazy. So Kramer, now we don't know exactly how, I don't know yet. I haven't found how McCain got his hands on the Steele dossier, but I don't understand how it couldn't have been Kramer. I'm convinced Kramer took it to him because Kramer had contacts in all these contacts in Russia. I mean, he would have easily come in contact with Steele at some point, or somebody who'd been in contact with these people. He takes it to McCain. I don't know that he takes it to McCain, but McCain gets hold of it. At the same time, Kramer takes it to BuzzFeed, and BuzzFeed is this website that prints the whole thing in its entirety and pushes this whole thing on the American people. And this scandal, this ridiculous thing that looks like it was dying, that we were not going to have to be forced on our consciousness now because of John McCain and his buddy David J. Kramer, who we will do a video on. This stuff, all this information, all this additional information gets to the FBI. Now Carter Page gets investigated. The investigation of Carter Page, Trump's, I'm going to get some of these relationships wrong. I think Page was the campaign manager. The investigation of Carter Page gets based off of this. Michael Flynn's investigation gets based off of this. Paul Manafort's investigation they took this Steele dossier that they were going to abandon, and then they took it when John McCain brought it back to them, and they used it to go after all of Trump's outer circle or inner circle to then try to get at Trump. So Trump has every right to be mad at John McCain. The impeachment, the last 3 years of the Mueller investigation, all the media hoopla. Now let's be honest. These people were going to go crazy on something, but this was going to go away, and John McCain brought it back up to the forefront and even added to it and gave it more momentum. Don't tell me that there's these Democratic appointed bureaucrats up in the FBI didn't say, oh, Republicans on board, and that didn't embolden them. Don't tell me that John McCain, the maverick of the Senate, bringing them this information did not embolden them then to go after Trump. That was a betrayal, certainly of his president, of his party, and I say of America. Now, I'm a veteran, and I have utmost respect for veterans, and I still have the utmost respect for John McCain's service in the United States Navy. He was a fighter pilot. He flew the F-4. He was president for the Forrestal. I can't remember the name of that the aircraft carrier that had an explosion and a fire, and it was one of the worst naval tragedies since World War II. He was present for that. That was the carrier he was flying off of, and then he got shot down, and then he was a POW for 5 years. John McCain, the veteran, is an admirable man. But you know what? We can draw a line and separate John McCain, the veteran, because every veteran in the world will tell you that we all served with the idiots. You know, some of us were the idiots. I'm sure I served with some people who look back and shake their heads and go, oh my God, that guy's a Marine, he made it. We all served with people like that. But their service is still honorable. That doesn't mean they're not morons. And John McCain, the senator, was a moron who wasn't a maverick. I shouldn't, he's dead. You know what? His daughters love him. I shouldn't be, maybe he only has one daughter, I don't remember. But we can admire the exploits of John McCain, the veteran, John McCain, the naval aviator who flew combat missions to Vietnam, and we can separate that from John McCain, the senator, who, in my opinions, political career did not live up to his military career. So there we go. Next time someone tells you, Trump was so mean to John McCain, no, John McCain deserved it. His veteran status, his POW status, he deserves a lot because of that. But Trump was right to be mad at him. Trump was right to go after him because McCain attacked Trump, attacked him first, and he attacked him worse. And if Freudian slip there. If McCain wasn't colluding with these Russian deep state supporters. He was their dupe. And you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise. But we will do the research on that, and I will bring it to you. This will be, as far as I know, someone else may get to it first. But this David J. Kramer angle, I haven't seen anyone else do yet. Talk about, especially his connections to Latvia and the State Department. The State Department is the worst cesspool of traitors in America. Has been since at least World War II, but probably before. Joe McCarthy was right. I'm sorry. He was a drunk, and maybe he was mean, but he was right. So there you go. Trump should be mad at John McCain. John McCain should be ashamed of himself for how he handled this Steele Dossier, how he threw gasoline on this fire as it was dying down to embers. I don't doubt at all that the political appointees in the FBI, when they thought they had the maverick of the Senate, John McCain, the Republican senior statesman on their side, didn't think that they had a home run, and they weren't emboldened in this thing. And it is corrupt from the get-go, from when Michael Steele started doing it, all the way up to when Robert Mueller got his hands on it, and what Adam Schiff did with it, and what Nadler, whatever moron Nadler's, it's been corrupt live from the get-go, and John McCain enabled it. And like I said, it was a betrayal. It was a betrayal of you, it was a betrayal of the president, it was a betrayal of the country. All right, man, we appreciate you. Thank you.